Today, I really want to talk to you guys about execution and really just taking action and doing the actionable steps that are going to build those dreams and goals that you've been having deep down inside, that you've been wanting, that you've been yearning for, that you've been dreaming about, that you've been knowing that, like, I want this, I need this, I deserve this. Now it's going to be about taking those actionable steps forward every single day to achieve what you believe you deserve, that vision, that goal that you've been building. And for most of us, it's a successful life, a happy life, a life that we have financial freedom, a life that we have, the pursuit of our hopes and dreams and becoming the person we've always envisioned ourselves to be. So today we're going to talk about executing on all of those things you've been thinking about. So for a long time, we've been doing these mindset calls, and really what these mindset calls are about, they're really about building your foundation, the foundation of who it's going to take to get to all those dreams and goals that you've been setting, especially if they're really big dreams and goals. And we're talking about like legacy building and building generational wealth or generational changes in our life cycles. So those are some really big dreams and goals. So in order to get to those, we have to have a really strong foundation, laying down the foundation, which is our mindset, the shift, in our mindset that we're making. That's why we're on these types of calls. We're trying to feed ourselves with better information that's going to help our mental growth, right? So how did we lay the foundation? What is laying the foundation? And if we haven't been laying the foundation, if we want to continue to be laying the foundation, which we actually should be constantly building onto the foundation, building onto our mindset, transforming our mindset on a regular basis so we don't end up slipping into a fixed mindset that has no longer been growing or progressing forward. We should always be moving forward, right? So how are we constantly laying down the mindset calls like this, mindset shifts, changing of our environment. What are we around every day? Who are we around every day? Changing our circle of influence. That's going to be who and what. What are we listening to on a daily basis? What are we watching on a daily basis? What is our social media feed like? Because that's feeding us a lot throughout the day. We probably watch our phone and social media more than we watch television. So whatever your feed is on whatever social media platform you're using is what is feeding you. That's why it's called a feed. It feeds your brain. What your eyes are watching, what your ears are bringing in, it's all going into that brain of yours, and it's going to affect the rest of your body, right? So changing of that environment is what, that's the what. And then the who's around you that talks to you on a regular basis, that dumps themselves upon you, their problems, their goals, their aspirations, their negativity, their positivity. Who are those people? And is it more positive or is it more negative? Are they feeding you in a growing way that's pushing you towards that dream and vision you have? Or is it kind of diluting it and pulling away from it and kind of weighing you down? And is it kind of causing more negativity and not feeding that goal? So that's the who. Changing of our environment, changing of our circle of influence. That's laying foundation. Changing of our habits, just realizing what habits are good for us. What am I eating? Is it messing my body up? Is it processed? Is it going to take time off my life? I saw some statistics somewhere of a doctor who was talking about her time in medical school, doing her doctorate. She had to write a lot of papers, a lot of research papers. And one of those was about processed foods and how it affects our lifespan. And it was like a ginormous number of what eating processed foods will immediately do to your lifespan. And it just shocked me. So habits, what am I eating? And is what I'm eating feeding the goal and the vision I'm trying to have, which is I want to live a long life. I want to live a healthy life. I want to go into my 80s and 90s healthy, walking, not on a ventilator, not stuck to a bed, not enjoying the past 15 years because I've been achy and in the hospital and sick, right? Or taking medication constantly, right? Do we want to live that life, or do we want to live a healthier life where our 80s look amazing and we're not taking any sort of medication and we're living off of the good food that we eat? So that's a goal, change of habits. We start with the small things. Remember, these are foundational. These are just building the groundwork, right? What am I doing every day? Am I exercising? Or in the morning, do I get up and do I start my morning off real slow? I don't stretch, don't take deep breaths, just kind of go through the day and really not give myself any form of movement. Our heart, our mind needs movement. When we don't have good movement, or when we have same movement constantly every day for long time, it hurts our body, right? We start to get slower, we start to get achy, we start to get non-flexible, right? We start to get winded. So we have to stretch that. That's another foundational habit, is exercising, feeding our body physically. And then another one is setting goals, vision building. These usually start with like small goals. Remember, you're just laying down the foundation. Small goals. What do I want to achieve next month financially? What do I want to achieve in my health next month financially? What new friend do I want to make next month? How do I want to change my circle of influence next month in a small way? What do I want to start watching more of by next month in a small way? What do I want to take away from my social media or television in a small way that will help me achieve those goals, those smaller goals, right? Don't Sometimes when we start with ginormous goals and then we don't meet them, it depletes our self-esteem and our confidence, because we're like, man, I can't meet my goals. I can't do this. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. I quit. And then we go back. But if we set smaller goals that are more achievable and realistic, it builds our confidence and our self-esteem. And then it makes us want to create bigger goals and believe that we can do it. So we start smaller steps. You can't climb a ladder by jumping and hoping you can reach the next one. You got to be able to, it's got to be an arm's length, and then you get stronger and stronger, right? So setting smaller goals, practicing your vision building, practicing it. Lots of times we ask our clients in our line of work, hey, what does your retirement look like? What's your goal? What's your dream? What do you want? Like, what does your ideal life look like? And most of them are like, I don't know. Like, I want to make maybe six figures, and really not even realizing that six figures is now still on the low end, because things are going to be rising and still not going to help us, because we're just not used to being clear about an actual real vision. We're not used to practicing our dreaming. In our adult life, most of the time, people are not asking us to dream like they do in our childhood, right? In our adult life, it's like, it's funny, we actually say that as a negative connotation, like, oh, you're a dreamer. Like it's a negative thing. Oh, you're a dreamer. Like, you're not realistic. Oh, go back to your place, go back to the average, right? So we've got to rethink that thought. Be a dreamer, practicing being a dreamer. And if you really want to talk high level, that's a mindset shift. That's manifestation. Where people are like, oh, you're a dreamer. They have no idea what manifestation is. Manifestation is a real life thing that is real. It's energy. It's our thought projection put out into the energy of the world is going to bring back the energy we are putting out. So you're either going to put out negative energy that is going to draw to you more negative energy, or you're going to put out positive energy that's going to draw to you more positive energy. And a great way to put out positive energy is by dream building, vision practicing. Visualize what your retirement looks like. Visualize what your ideal parenthood situation looks like. Visualize your relationship with your children 10 years from now. Visualize how much money you have in the bank and why, and what you're doing with it. Visualize your next generation and what your children's children are going to look like and sound like and talk to each other like, and the relationships they're going to have with each other are going to be like. Visualize it. Practice those skills, laying down the foundation. Take 20 minutes a day just to sit and practice visualizing, thinking what you want, and start creating images of it. That's how we practice our visualization. And it's a huge skill in laying down your foundation, an ongoing foundation. That is going to build self-esteem, setting small goals, reaching those goals. You're building your inward self-esteem, your belief in yourself. That's what I believe self-esteem is. It's actually the belief in oneself that I can do this. I am worthy. Even if I fail, I can try harder. I'm never going to give up. Self-esteem, right? Now we got to talk about execution, right? Because we could lay all the groundwork we want and all the habits and all the inward things. And then in the end, we can live in our head and not actually do any actionable steps forward that are going to take us beyond mindset, right? So we don't want to just stay in our head and have an amazing mindset and be amazing thinkers and visualizers and intellectuals. We want to then execute and have actionable steps forward that are going to take us to our more tangible dreams and goals, which is like the success, business success, career success, financial success, right? Retirement. Those are the more tangible goals that we need to reach. And those are going to take a lot of the foundation, yes, absolutely, to then the actionable steps. So how do we do actionable steps? Change of our routine. Hi, baby. Hello. Yeah. Change of our routine, right? Now we're getting to a place where we need to get out of our head and start mastering our time. So if we're going to start to execute on a dream and a goal, that means we're going to start changing things in our actual schedule. Things need to actually change to become different, to reach something different that we don't already have, right? So changing in our routine. Are we waking up earlier? Are we spending less time on social media and scrolling? Are we spending less time or no time on television? Are we spending more time going out and reaching out for that change of circle of influence and getting in the right places? And like, if it's not at work and it's not back at home, where is it for you? If you haven't been going to church, maybe it's going to church and start meeting more people there that are going to change your circle of influence, right? Maybe go to meetups, business meetups, LinkedIn meetups, maybe get on and create your own meetup of people that are like, hey, I'm trying to get into a circle of people who have dreams and goals like I do, who maybe want to help influence each other and, build a relationship. I don't know. Who knows? Ideate together, taking actionable steps forward to changing our environment, changing our circle of influence. Now, bigger changes of habits are going to start to happen. So before in the foundational part, it's like smaller habits, working out, things like that. Now it's going to be much bigger habits. So if it is you wanting to start another business or start a new business or get better at business or something like that, you're going to need to have much bigger change of habits, right? Like instead of, hey, it's been a long day. I've worked 8 hours, I've worked maybe 10 hours. It's going to be like, no, I've probably going to now start to need to work 14 to 15 hours a day. You heard what that guy said. He's a millionaire, but he said, I work an average of 93 hours a week. Like 90. I don't know if you guys understand what that even looks like, or if any of you guys have ever done it. I understand because I did that when I had my distribution company with my brother. We worked an average of 90 hours a week, and it is awful. Like, unless you absolutely love what you do, which was he's saying, he loves it, so he's not retired. Unless you absolutely love it, you just love it, it's not work for you, you can't sustain something like that. So we did that business for 7 years. After 7 years and a depleted marriage and no quality of life for myself, I lost all my late 20s and early 30s to that. Made a lot of money, but then you're like, my whole life was gone, right? We don't want that, right? But for a short term, if you want to reach those long-term dreams, you may and probably will need to do that. So you can't expect there to be a huge shift or a huge success story if there is not a huge shift in your life, in your sacrifices, in your level of sacrifices, in the time that you've been putting in. So if you're not where you want to be right now, and you still have a lot more that you need to do to get to the whatever it is you're thinking and dreaming about, then there's going to be a lot of big change that has to happen in there. And a lot of it is going to be the time spent in pursuing those dreams and goals. Again, not just thinking about it. It's about actually taking the steps forward, going out and meeting new people, spending time building your product if it's going to be a product that you're creating. Spending time building your service, spending time on sales, spending time on phone calls. We spend like 2.5 hours a day on phone calls. We're in the sales business, Chris and I. In the end, we're in the people and the sales business. We're in the building relationships business. And then we provide them with services. God bless you, baby. And products that they need. But a majority of our time is spent reaching out and making calls, reaching out to people, talking to people, being on appointments with people, generating new business, generating new leads, generating and maintaining relationships. So we got to put hours in there. We can't expect, to build a big business and, we're putting, 2 hours a day on it. That's 2.5 hours just on phone calls, just generating new business or maintaining business. Then there's, the appointments and the events and the marketing and the branding and the emails, the late night emails at 12 o'clock, and just so many different things. So whatever dream you have, you already got to know that that dream, in order to be fed and grown, it's going to need your time. It's going to need your effort. It's not going to need like your leftover after work that I'll give it 2 hours maybe tonight. It's going to need like, hey, if I got to still work and maintain my job, but I want to run a business, I'm going to give my job the 8 hours they need. And then when I get home, I'm going to give my business a good 6 hours. So that makes it 8 + 6. I'm working 14-hour days. Is that right, baby? 8 + 6, 14. Is mommy right? Yes, there we go. That's 14-hour days. That's what that looks like. Now we're talking, oh, I have an idea of a 90-hour week. That's 14 to 15-hour days, right? I give my job what they need, what I need to maintain that job. I give my business 6 hours. That's the drastic change that's going to need to happen until you've been feeding your business very well. You've been putting in those 90-hour weeks for both. Now your business should be building. You should be closer to those dreams. You could let go of that job. You've built enough confidence now. There's a difference between self-esteem and confidence, I think. Self-esteem is a lot more inward. That's built in the foundational mindset stuff. Confidence is built through actionable steps forward. Hey, I tried, I failed, I got up again, and I did it. I succeeded on the third try. Hey, I got rejected 10 times today. I kept going. I got 19 no's today, but I got 3 yeses. That builds the confidence. That builds the person now that's like, man, I can build a big, big dream. I can conquer anything, right? Now you're a confident person. You're a confident person, confident business person, confident speaker. If your dream is to be a public speaker, if your dream is to be a pastor, your dream is to influence a whole lot of people, a big group of people. If your influence is to be a great teacher or principal, if your vision is to be a great grandparent, if your vision is just to be a great parent, it's not always about like the financial success or the business success. What are those actionable steps that you're going to need to take to build that confidence and to reach that person, right? So those are the daily actionable steps forward. Really, it's just about your habits and mastering your time. That's probably the 2 foundational ingredients in the execution phase. It's mastering your time and changing your habits, saying, no, I can't, I'm not going to watch Netflix tonight. I'm going to go make some phone calls. Like, of course, I don't want to. Like what he said, I get lazy. I get that. I get comfortable. I get, tired. I don't want the rejection tonight. But the habit change, the big change of habit is going to be, nope, I can't. I'm going to say no Netflix and I'm going to go put in 2 hours. Because really, when you're watching Netflix, it goes by pretty quick. You could watch a good hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're tired. Now you're ready for bed, right? Now you've just lost 2 hours and stayed in your comfort zone. Or you could say, no, I'm going to use these 2 hours and I'm going to progress myself forward into whatever vision or goal I have for myself. So it's just about changing those habits of what we are currently doing that's keeping us where we are. And if we're not happy with that, then we've got to make changes, actionable changes that's going to get us to a different place that we envision and have for ourselves. And if you can master your time and you can have the discipline to change your habits, you can do absolutely anything, whatever dreams and goals you have. Those are the two key ingredients, are just mastering your time and willingness to change the habits. There's a really great audio or book by Brian Tracy called Mastering Your Time. That's really, really awesome. I think I used to have the audio. I'm not sure if I still have the audio, but if I still have the audio, I'll send it to you guys if you want to put your email in the chat and you want that audio. I think I have it. But if I don't, then obviously I won't send it. If I do, I will send it right after this if you guys want to put in your emails. But if not, you can also jump on YouTube and look up Brian Tracy, Mastering Your Time, because that is a really phenomenal audio. Got you guys here. Just about time. Sometimes we don't take the actionable steps forward because we don't understand how to truly master our time. And it's really just mastering ourselves within time. That's what Chris and I like to say. It's funny. We think it's time mastering us. And like, we are just in the time and no, it's us mastering time. So when you start to have that shift in how you think about time, it's not mastering you. You are mastering it. So you get to choose, how you're using that time. A lot of people say, I have no time, I have this, I have that. And then I'll do an exercise with them and I'll break down their schedule with them. And then I'll show them like 6 hours of free time. And they're like, wow, yeah, I get it. Because we're not used to that. So that audio is really, really good. I'll go ahead and copy all these emails. But thank you guys for being on. I hope you got something out of today. I think Zamina wants to say something.
No. About my mom. She does not do anything she says. While she's doing work, she also watches a movie.
Oh my gosh.
And when she's going to bed, she also watches the movie.
She's really putting me out there. Yes, it's true. Actually, I like a lot of I'm copying these emails, sorry. I like a lot of background noise when I'm working. And we also homeschool Zamina. So she's home with me all day, as you can see. She's on all of my appointments. Chris gets to hide downstairs in the basement in the office. His office is downstairs, so he doesn't get this. But I like to have background noise while I'm working or doing stuff or just being around the house or even getting to sleep. I like to watch the Discovery Channel and I like to watch like Oceans. It's actually good for your like subconscious. So I will have like a lot of background noise on when I'm doing things, and to each their own. If you are that kind of person and you need background stuff, or you just are that same way, make sure it's good things that are being played, good positive things that are being played that are feeding you, not taking away from you, good things that are feeding you. That's a good point. I'm glad she brought that up, even though she was putting me out there like that. But whatever it is, your background noise, because that's what it is for me, make sure it is good, positive background noise that's actually feeding your mindset, not taking away from it. Not that, you always have to live that way and it's extreme. Of course, you can have your level of entertainment. Absolutely. But definitely be balancing it out with some really good stuff that's growing and stretching your brain. All right, I got everybody's emails. No, you can't say anything else, little girl. No, we're done. These are her affirmation cards. Why don't you read your affirmation cards to them instead of putting your mom under the bus like this?
No.
All right, thank you, everyone. This is what happens for joining us. Everyone have a wonderful week, a progressive week, and remember, build that foundation and go execute on those dreams and goals. And I'll send out that audio if I have it. If not, please Google it. Brian Tracy, Mastering Your Time.